So hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So this was unexpectedly a sudden review of this WRX STi. Finally, an STi. It's been so long since I asked for an STi review, but still hopefully I can still get the new WRX manual soon, because I know they stopped selling for the moment STi in the WRX branding. So this is actually the last one that they sold with the STi badge itself. To be honest, this is probably my favorite gen of STi. I'm not a fan of the Hawkeye and the 0302 models, just being honest. But I do love, ironically, the Subaru World Rally liveries though. But this one, I'm a bit of a hatchback guy too. Just look at it. It's so sexy, especially the rear. But the front of it, it's already a classic Subaru for me. So what I have here is a 2010 Subaru WRX STi hatchback. This is the GR widebody, not GRRs. So here at front being the hatchback, it still looks like the one it's based on, the Impreza, unlike the current WRX now. The ground clearance, 140 millimeters, which is actually still on par with the current WRXs. And I gotta be honest, I prefer the looks of this way better than the current WRXs. So as well, you have an STi badge here. This one's a bit faded out now, but of course, this being used by Jetro, this is his new daily from the Z3. Rest in peace, Z3. And he seems to enjoy it so much, but I'm a bit intimidated to drive this, so we'll get to that later. So this part's a little bit faded out too, and you have a massive scoot here. And for a change, let's cut to Jetro on his experiences with this car so far.
So something that all STi owners have to do, can't own an STi and not have it grenade without doing this. Oh, by the way, struts. Okay, so yeah, just a blow-off valve there, and it's very hot right now, so
I see.
you can't be an STi owner and not do this.
Any metal on it?
What?
Any metal on it?
Wala naman.
Good.
Good luck. So, yep, it's a bit on the low side, to be honest, for me. So let me try to do that again, because these things eventually lose oil. And look at that, it's already running on a bit low. Well, not really, It's okay pa naman, but yeah, always check oil if you're an STi owner.
Really hot, man.
Yeah, oil and power steering. So one thing that always happens is the valve gaskets and the oil pump. The power steering pump. Luckily, those are so available right now. It's so easy to fix. But yeah, you are eventually gonna encounter that. For the WRX, you have the plastic in the intercooler, but this one's fine-ish. Oh, and my radiator, that's close to palitan na. If you can see the color, that's not how it's supposed to look. So yeah, ownership of any Subaru, it's a project car, no matter what.
Yeah. So this is not completely stock anymore. So you have an upgraded set of wheels. These are BBS wheels and Westlake tires. They are really massive. So the stock tires used to be 245s like the current WRXs. So these are now 265 35 18 series tires. They are really big, and this is probably the biggest tire I've experienced so far on a normal car. I won't include some sports cars that I've driven on my channel. And then you got wheel vents here, and then STi logo again here. Yeah, all the vents here are all wheels, so that's a good start already. And as well, I forgot to mention earlier, this is a 2010 model, so it has a bit of a newer face now compared with like the 2008. For example, like what Jeremy Clarkson reviewed in BBC Top Gear. I know he said he wasn't a bit of a fan of the WRX, but I don't mind it. To be honest, I prefer the look than the Lancer Evo 10. I'm more of a Subaru guy. So being a 2010 facelift model, there have been tweaks to the suspension. I won't be able to show a clip because look at the gap of the wheel well. It's like only what, 2 inches only. So as well, you have larger anti-roll bars and new ball bushings for the sake of handling. And as well, being an STI, this is an all-wheel drive vehicle. Talk about the engine. So it's a 2-liter turbocharged boxer 4 engine that produces 305 horsepower and 393 newton meters of torque. And as well, it's a 40-60 bias. So 40% of the power goes to the front and then 60% goes to the rear. And few upgrades Jetro has done to this WRX. There's an HKS blow-up valve right there. And 0 to 100 kilometers per hour is done in 5.2 seconds. Top speed is electronically limited to 255 kilometers per hour. Electronically limited. I assume he's already removed the limiter. So here now of the rear of the Subaru Impreza WRX STi. I keep forget to mention the Impreza name because the current WRXs are no longer aligned with the Imprezas themselves. So this is actually feels a little bit more special. That name alone, I am a big fanboy of Imprezas too. So you have the usual Subaru all-wheel drive here and a diffuser here with real exhaust. Thank God it's not the overflapping plastic cladding thingy here. Anyway, you also have a very nice spoiler here. And what's special too with the Impreza STi hatchback, open this boot up. Okay, the gas tests are pretty hard on this one. So boot space, you have a total of 420 liters and load lip, non-existent. You can just sit down here and look at the sunset. I might hurry it up because I might run out of daylight. And underneath, you have a massive spare tire over here. And this is what's like when you fold all of the seats down.
I mean, like one of your French girls.
Yeah, that's how much space there is. That's how much 1,216 liters looks like. You can fit 2 of Jetros right here. So here now in the interior of the WRX Impreza STi hatchback. It sounds alright, but oh, alright. I need time to think. I'm in an STi, a real STI. The interior alone, look at this. It feels so raw and special. I drove this already to adjust the angle in my shots. This has the craziest clutch and gearbox combo I've ever experienced. This is the shortest throw I've ever experienced on a car. I mean, it's like one click, it's already engaged. And there's not even like a mechanism to engage your reverse gear. So in case your 5th gear, you want to hit 6, you might accidentally hit reverse gear. I know it's a modern karting where special engagement to activate reverse gear. So let's talk about that later. I really want to drive this now. So on the door card, alright, pretty simple. And on the left side, you have side mirror adjustments, headlight lever adjustments too, and your electronic stability control button. And then in your middle, I am so happy to see that your instrument cluster with the STi logo. As well, like current WRXs, they're all illuminated in red too. And visibility, surprisingly, when I was just turning this car around, pretty good. The A-pillar's not too much in the way. I mean, it's big, but the overhang is pretty short. And then the rear, okay, as you can see, the D-pillar is big, but you have a massive corner window, so it makes up for it. And just being honest, compared to a Mazda 3 hatchback, there's so much light going in here. And in the seats, like the current WRXs too, you have leather mixed with Alcantara with red stitching too, and real STi embossment here. Oh, I love this thing already. So visor, you have a vanity mirror, no light though. It's kind of big, not extended, but it's fine. Black headlining here, lights here. Oh, I'll leave that on. Up to the back too. So here in the middle, you have a 2-din setup here, air conditioning vent, and your air conditioning controls down below. Underneath, you have a 12-volt socket, a cubby space, and then glove box. Oh, there's a camera. So, by the way guys, Jetro is gonna vlog, so I'll leave his vlog or review in the description down below. So again, back here in the gear lever. No words. Then you have your manual handbrake here, 2 cup holders, and then your driving modes here. I am so happy to see this old school layout with the driving modes. It's just a simple knob. It's not like a button here with current Subarus. Oh, more cameras here. Alright, it's pretty decent, I guess. And then what else? Oh yeah, steering wheel feels so nice to the touch. And you have your STi logo in the middle. I'm surprised there's only an STi, not the Subaru logo itself. And then on the left side, you have your volume control buttons for the radio. And then on the right side, oh, cruise control in a manual car. Wow. Right, now at the rear, You have a koala there. This is Jethro's mascot, by the way. I'll call him Mr. Koala for some reason. But surprisingly, for a hatchback, space there in the back is excellent. Feet room, knee room, and headroom is excellent throughout. And then, surprising too, if I sit in the middle, transmission tunnel is pretty decent in size too. You can put your feet up, and my headroom is not affected whatsoever. And you only have one map pocket behind the passenger side only. Let's go for a dive. So driving this WRX STi, I thought I was gonna be intimidated with the gearbox because it's so freaking short, but no, I love it. Oh, oops! That sound that HKS blow-off valve is amazing. And I'm not sure if you can hear that on camera, the transmission, that clanking, grinding sound. I've not heard that since the 991.1 GTT RS. So I assume this has a racing clutch and a racing gearbox, according to Jetto. Even he doesn't know. Okay. Right. Oops. So, first thing I immediately noticed, and for kind of like my first impressions too, this is way more comfortable than an Abarth 595 manual. I mean, that's the only car I can compare because it's a hot hatchback, I gotta say. And the clutch feels so similar, but that has a long throw. This one's very short. What an honor to drive an STi. Finally, after what? Since I watched that series 13, that's a 2008 episode of Jeremy Clarkson, I've been dying to drive an STi. Although whatever he said though, I kinda disagree with what he said. He favors more of the Evo 10 because that has sharper handling, even though that's also an all-wheel drive but competitor of this. It goes by the saying what he said in that episode too. If you wanna go around to a track and have fun, you take the Evo. But if you wanna take one home, you get the STi. I completely agree with this saying now. Yeah, I'm surprised even though this is an STi, it's still comfortable. I gotta say it's comparable even with the new WRX S2. And as well, during my first impressions while we filled up, and I was just in intelligent mode by the way, I was not even in sport sharp yet. That's how crazy this thing is. I'm sorry, I'm falling in love with this thing. Anyway, I noticed this is a little bit wider than I once thought to, because I tend to be more on the wall on the right side because of the wide body kit. Yeah, this is the thing with this GR wide body kit STi. Yeah, it is kinda wide. You have to get used to that, but anyway, I don't mind it. It kind of gives the STi character too. And over humps and bumps too, having 150 millimeters of ground clearance, no issue whatsoever. I mean, here you don't have to swerve.
It's actually 165.
165. Oh, I thought it's 150 like my car.
Yeah, that's rally car, bro.
Rally car, bro. Oh my god, this gear. For once, I am speechless again. I know his previous daily was a GT M Roadster. Well, M Roadster to be specific. This is much more forgiving. And for me, much more fun. I see why he always bangs off the limiter 5,000 RPM doing launches. Oh yeah, for your experience, Jethro, doesn't that affect the all-wheel drive coupling of this?
So the Subaru all-wheel drive is actually rather robust. The 6-speed manual, unlike the WRX, can take multiple hard launches, so you actually have to worry about your engine more than anything, more than the trans, more than the all-wheel drive. So you have to worry about everything else first, maybe the drive shafts, everything. It's really an easy car though, and I have to say, you don't actually have to launch this thing. It has plenty of torque if you compare it to some earlier turbocharged cars, maybe like the Skyline. This actually has pretty smooth torque. I'm not sure if you agree with me on that one though. But
I've driven a Skyline.
Yeah, so-
R34, but it's still a Skyline.
so how does it compare for you? Because those are pretty similar stock displacement. I mean 2.5 straight 6 versus flat 4 turbo. How do those two compare?
I mean, they're both unique in their own way. Although, just being honest, sorry Wendell if you're watching this, I'm a bit more annoyed with this turbo whistle. Like every time you move, you go sss. I don't hear the engine much more. Although, I can hear this engine way more than the turbo, even having the blow-off valve. Sounds more special, to be honest. And of course, a Subaru Boxer.
I think it's down to the size of the turbo. So, I watched your video, by the way. The R34 has a big ass turbo. He fitted a big ass turbo, really good for top end, but for puttering around town, it's not exactly the most comfortable. I mean, different builds, different people.
No aircon too.
The STi, this STi has a pretty small turbo, so it's like the VF48 is not really considered a big turbo. So he put like what, a Garrett turbo, a GT35.
Probably.
So
yeah.
a GT35 is a bigger turbo than a TD0620G, and the TD0620G is like a level bigger than this. So it's like 2 or 3 sizes bigger. That's why you hear all spool all day long.
Agree.
But yeah, I wouldn't take it against that car. But yeah, different strokes, different folks, different builds.
True, agree. Couldn't agree more. And speaking of ride, I forgot I was in EDS already.
Yeah, because it's that comfortable.
I couldn't believe it. I was expecting WRX STIs to be stiff, like fanboy, racer boy kind of vibes.
And there's
Complete
one more
opposite.
thing. And there's one more thing. I'm on really rough riding tires right now. I'm
I know.
on Westlake Sport RS, and they have a reputation for being noisy, for being very let's be kind, let's say unforgiving tire. But to be frank, we just went through a fault line and we don't really care. And see, you can probably see the grin on this guy's face. He's trying to hide it, but
Jesus Christ. I think we have the same taste, bro. Raw, no tech. Just let your driving do the talking, let the engine do the talking.
here's the thing with the STi versus the Z3M, because those are the two cars I really use. This car, I put 3,300 kilometers ever since I got it last month.
I can see in the odometer.
And that's just 1 month.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I've been racking up some kilometers on this car, and first thing off the bat that I can say is it's raw, but at the same time it's comfortable for
And
me.
practical.
Yeah, it's practical. You can throw 2 Mi's in the back and you have no problem.
I can bring my entire family too. That's what's special about it.
That's the thing. I wanted to share my car enthusiasm with my family, and I wasn't able to do that with a 2-seat Roadster. I mean, Z3, I don't know if you would agree, but it's a way faster car than this.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, there's no doubt it's a way faster car. I think this would do mid-13s at best in the quarter mile. I think that one's capable with a very professional driver of a mid-12s.
Shit.
What is it?
Right. I put it to Sport Sharp. Okay. It's a different animal.
Yeah. So Sport Sharp is like 3 times sharper than Intelligent Mode. I'm not sure specifically.
Yeah, no. Agree. 3 times. Like I just tapping the throttle, it's already spooling up like crazy. Wow.
And I think the boost is a bit higher. So I'm not sure about this, but you were testing in intelligent mode a while ago.
I forgot to move it to sports, sorry.
Yeah, in intelligent mode, I hear stock limits the boost at around 9 psi, 8 psi, I don't know. Whereas Sports Sharp goes all the way to like 13.
Yeah,
which is
agree.
like the stock highest boost setting. So here you're getting the full power, whatever. I mean, Subaru says 300 horsepower. I don't know how much it actually produces because
Probably more.
more or less, I'm not sure. Maybe just let's say intelligent mode is like 230 at the wheel. Maybe that's like an extra 15 at best. I don't know. But all I can say is it's noticeable, but there's a downside to Sports Sharp. From a throttle standpoint, it's way too sensitive. It's overly sensitive.
Oh yeah, I can tell already.
So I would, while we're stopped, I would suggest you put it in sport and you test it out.
Sport.
So I heard sport and Sports Sharp has the same boost setting, but sport has a more natural feeling.
Yeah, let's find out in a bit. And also, well, if you know my Abarth, a lot of people complained that I failed at the U-turn test. That is completely false. So like this and the Abarth, that's what's similar with them. They have the worst U-turn for a hatchback, surprisingly.
I would say this has a very bad U-turn. You know why? All-wheel drive. So all those items is really bad for the turning radius compared to say a rear-wheel drive or say a front-wheel drive hatch. Here's the thing, around town I don't really feel like it's not gonna be able to keep up with anyone. I feel like it keeps up with most modern vehicles enough, but at the same time it provides some modicum of comfortability, practicality. So you really have to ask yourself the question, how much car do you actually need to have fun?
I mean, an Abarth was enough for me, so even this one, so I'm like, that's all I need.
Modding is crazy and it's fun. So before I start modding, I wanted to give you a tour review of what a stock-ish STi feels. And I don't know, what can you say about it?
You know, this is one of the cars up there, Abarth 595 Mazda MX-5 ND. One of the best cars I've ever driven. M-Roadster is another story, but the one I would take home, that's why I say best cars I've ever driven, because that's the urge that I want to own one.
See, there's
I can't believe this. This is, I would take home one of these, surprisingly.
There's this game called Marry Kill. And
you gotta bleep that.
I know you have to bleep that, but the M-Roadster is the car you flirt with.
Yeah.
It's not a car you marry. You don't want to be stuck with that forever, but you want to experience everything about it. It's that type of car.
Oh yeah, I gotta agree too. I mean, I'm so happy I was still able to experience that with you.
Yeah.
In a very hilarious way.
Oh my god, that sounds so... Okay. Okay. With this car, it feels like a car you can grow into. It's a car you can take home to the family.
Agree.
And they will like it. They will like it. They will absolutely like it. It's got legroom, headroom, boot space, whatever you need. If it's rainy, it's fine. You have the grip.
Yeah, exactly. I forgot to mention that too.
The thing I love about the all-wheel drive is if it's raining, I have grip. As long as you have good tires. I mean, if you put semi-slick tires and you go in the rain, that's your fault if you spin out. If you hydroplane.
But these Westleys aren't bad.
Yeah, they're not
surprisingly not bad.
Well, they're not bad as long as you don't track them, because they give out on the track really easy. But for fun runs, it's actually the fun run tire. We have to understand the reason why the WRX is getting bigger, getting more complicated, getting more of these shenanigans that they put is for sales. And there's nothing bad about that. But they've kind of forgotten about our market, the enthusiast
market. I agree.
Which is funny because Toyota stepped up with the GR Corolla and it's pretty much a spiritual successor to this car.
So I was making all the GR wide body jokes earlier, so they're actually all true.
Yeah.
No wonder.
Yeah, if you think about it, the GR Corolla is in fact the successor to this car. It's all-wheel drive, it's turbocharged, 300 horsepower, six-speed manual.
I can't wait to drive that.
We don't know if it's gonna come here. That's a thing. Toyota has this 3 GR units per country rule thing, so I'm not sure they're gonna bring it here. It's a pretty basic engine, and to some people, they have to understand that's the beauty of this thing. And you just went through a bump, a pretty big bump, that I'm pretty sure if I did that in the Z3M, we would wreck the front bumper.
Yeah.
And in this car, we didn't even give a crap.
No, you can fly around literally all day in this.
That's the beauty of the STi. It's a diluted form of a rally car, but at the same time, you have to understand, we're not rally drivers either. We're not going through the Nürburgring. We're not Peter Solberg. We're not Colin McRae. We're not Ken Block. And it's not pretending for us to be. It's just allowing us to have fun, have decent practicality, and be awesome. That's it. And it's relatively affordable. I mean, come on, man. I didn't even spend $1 million for this car.
I know.
I got this car for 920 grand. And it's pretty new. It's a 2010 model. It's like, what, 12 years old at the time I got it. It's got fairly decent miles.
Right. I gotta give this back or else I'll bring it home. So I'd
Yeah.
like to thank again Jet Lubas over here. You can watch our review too with the Z3M Roadster. Yeah, that's it. Bye bye.